presents from the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia, the playoff round of the 1970 Masters Tournament. Good afternoon, this is Ray Scott. The weather is warm and sunny for our 18-hole playoff round here to determine the Masters winner. And right now there's important action out of 13, and we go there to Bob Ferrier.
The 13th hole, par 5, 475 yards. Gene Littler, 6 down to Bill Casper, has just hit a beautiful second right to the fat of the green. We show it in videotape. That shot of Littler's is 30 feet from the flag, with a very subtle ridge between him and the cup. Here is Gene Littler. Casper has played 2. We go to the 18th.
You know now that right now, Gene Littler is on and 2 at the par 5 13th. Billy Casper has already hit 2 shots and is yet to reach the green at 13. So now let's bring you up to date on what transpired. Billy Casper used only 12 putts on the front 9 as he turned in 33, as Littler required 38 strokes on the front 9. Casper picked up his first bogey of the day at 10, but Gene Littler, having tree trouble along the left side of the fairway at 10, came up with a double bogey. At one time, after Casper had birdied the 11th for his 4th birdie of the day, he had a 7-shot lead, but right now, Littler has cut it to 6 strokes and is in good shape at 13, and we go there now, and there's Billy Casper.
Billy Casper pacing back to his ball. He's played 2. He overdrove the fairway into the crowd, played his second short of the water, laid it up, as you say. Now he has an 85 yards pitch over the creek to a flag which is only 12 feet on the surface. That's a fine shot, fine shot. 20 feet past the hole. Bill Casper. We go back to Ray Scott at 18.
Right now, we would like to tell you that our CBS coverage will include play at 13 and continue through 18. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our CBS broadcast reporters.
I'm Bob Ferrier. I shall be reporting the par 5 13th hole, where both players made birdies yesterday.
And I'm Pat Summerall, covering the par 4 14th hole, where both Billy Casper and Gene Littler made par yesterday.
I'm John Durr, reporting at the 520-yard 15th hole. Both Littler and Casper had birdies here yesterday.
I'm Henry Longhurst at the 16th, where Casper yesterday got a par 3, but Littler dropped a vital stroke.
This is Frank Lieber at the par 4 17th, a hole that both Billy Casper and Gene Littler parred yesterday.
And this is Ray Scott. I'll be covering play at the par 4 18th. Both Casper and Littler managed pars here yesterday, and now let's check their progress in this 18-hole playoff. Here's the way it stands right now, a 6-stroke differential. But as any of you know who have followed the fortunes of the various players in preceding Masters tournaments, there can be a dramatic turn in fortunes, and it could well be that a turn will occur at 13, and we go there now.
Gene Littler with an eagle putt, 35 feet. Three feet from the hole, Gene Littler. Taciturn as any Westerner. Now Billy Casper. He's 20 feet from the hole. His putt is for a birdie. Casper's taking a very good deal of care over this one. 6 shots is a healthy cushion, but there's a lot of water to cross on this course still. Bill Casper on the 13th green, 20 feet from the hole, a putt for a birdie. One more turn of the ball and it would have been in. Now Gene Littler. 3 feet from the hole, and he can pick up one more stroke on Bill Casper. Gene Littler, the 13th hole for a birdie. And he's got it. That's one more stroke. Only 5 strokes between them. Gene Littler has picked up 2 shots in the last 2 holes and must begin to hope. We go to 14.
As the 2 players come over to 14, that's Gene Littler, who is now 3 over par, Billy Casper 2 under, a 5-shot difference. Both of them, both Littler and Casper, have parred 14 in all of the previous rounds of the 1970 Masters. No birdies, no bogeys. This hole is 420 yards long. For the most part, throughout this round, this playoff round today, Casper has been out driving Littler by, about 20 yards on almost every hole. Most people do not recall ever seeing Casper hit the ball much longer than he has during this playoff round. They're waiting for the fairways to clear. Yesterday, this is Littler's second shot. He made par. This shot landed just on the front of the green. Players here would prefer to be long, if possible. This is videotape of yesterday, and this is Billy Casper's second shot. And Casper flew it right at the pin. This was his second shot yesterday, again on videotape. And you can see he almost hit the flagstick. Now this is live. Littler's drive appears to be right in the middle of the fairway. Oh, apparently not. We're told now that he hooked it over into the rough and possibly hit some trees. Billy Casper. And Casper also has gone into the trees. So both players, both Littler and Casper, have difficulties. And so at this moment, in the playoff round of the 1970 Masters, Billy Casper leads Gene Littler by 5 shots.
And so, in our playoff round here at Augusta National, Gene Littler has managed to pick up 1 stroke on each of the last 2 holes. And as we gaze through records of past Masters tournaments, it's interesting to note, for example, that back in 1950, Jim Ferrier appeared to be a winner in a battle with Jimmy DeMeritt, who looked like he might be headed for second place, but a swing of 7 strokes in DeMeritt's favor on the last 6 holes. That's just one example. There'll be others we'll get a chance to tell you about. Billy Casper, we repeat, used only 12 putts on the front 9 today. From tee to green, Gene Littler played well the front 9, but his putter was not able to keep pace with that of Billy Casper, who, of course, has long been acknowledged as one of the fine putters in the game of golf. So, with just ideal weather here at Augusta National, the round started today with Billy Casper birdieing that first hole, and we're going out now to the live action at 14.
That's Billy Casper. He's just walked up the 14th fairway to take a look at his shot. His tee shot was hooked, banged off some of the trees in the fairway in the left rough, and bounced back, and he's got a long way to come. About 260 yards away. This is a 420-yard hole. Casper's is the short ball. Littler also pulled over into the trees, but he doesn't appear to have the problem that Casper does. Billy Casper playing in his 14th Masters tournament. He's never won it. He came oh so close last year. There's Casper's shot, coming up to the 14th green. And he's taking a long look at this one.
Pat, would you think, with the shot that he has facing him here, that it's possible for him to reach this green, or was the tree going to force him to play to the right of the hole?
Ray's 240 yards away, or about 230. He's got a full wood in his hands. It'll be a tough shot. I think from where we are, that he might have some problems with the limbs of the tree in between. He put the wood back now, we're told. Now another wood. And from where he was, an excellent shot. He didn't make the green. He's about 40 feet short. Right in front of the green. Casper is going to have problems making a par here. We told you that he'd parred all 4 previous rounds, but today it's going to be extremely difficult. Littler, too, in the trees as he hooked his tee shot here at 14. Littler has picked up 2 shots in the last 2 holes. He's 5 down. Gene about 180 yards from the flag. And there is his shot. He is using an iron. From the reaction of the crowd, excellent shot. And so Littler puts himself in position now to pick up even more strokes. He trails by 5. Casper in a difficult position. It's going to be extremely tough for him to make par here at 14. Littler with about a 15-foot crack at a birdie. This was Littler yesterday on videotape from 30 feet. And this on videotape also is Littler's par here at 14 yesterday. Casper. This again was yesterday in his birdie attempt at 14. And he made this for his par. At this point, Casper was 8 under yesterday. Littler was 9 under. Casper has a tough shot. He is about 40 feet away. The applause for Gene Littler, who's now riding at the 14th green. Casper's about 40 feet away from the green. And once he hits the green, he's got about 25 feet to work with. Billy Casper leads Gene Littler by 5 strokes. But Littler now with an excellent chance to pick up more. He's picked up 2 in the last 2 holes. He will still have about 18 feet to salvage a par. Littler has an excellent chance at a bird. His putt downhill. So if Littler makes this putt and Casper misses, he could pick up 2 more shots. Casper is away, I believe. This is about 18 or 20 feet. And Billy Casper makes bogey at 14 and goes to 1 under par. As Gene Littler looks, Casper has bogeyed 3 out of the 5 holes he's played on the back 9. This is by no means an easy putt coming back now for Littler for his par. Straight time. Littler now remains 3 over par. Casper 1 under. And so, at this moment in the playoff round of the 1970 Masters Tournament, Billy Casper leads Gene Littler by 4 strokes.
This back 9 continues to provide dramatics at Augusta National, as since the 11th hole, Gene Littler has gained 3 strokes. After being down by 7, he's only down by 4. And earlier, you recall, Henry Longhurst mentioned rather it was Bob Ferrier. There's much water on this golf course remaining in the back nine, and some of that water is on the 15th hole, the fabled 15th. And that's where our players are right now in this 18-hole playoff round for the 1970 Masters title. And we go to the 15th and John Durr.
And the appreciative gallery watching Gene Littler struggle to this comeback that he has made on the last few holes, getting ready to tee off on this 520-yard hole.
Hey, yeah, good shot.
And in the center of the fairway. If it doesn't go too far, oh, he's well down the fairway. He can reach this green in two. Yesterday, both of these players tried to reach the green in two. They both got birdie fours, but they got them through one putts. Now we have Casper coming. And along the same line, and this time, Billy Casper has been outdriven by Gene Littler. Littler hit the longer of the tee shots on the 15th hole. On this hole in the earlier play, Littler had 3 pars the first tee day. This is a videotape of yesterday. Littler's shot coming in high, as he walks along and watches the ball hit and bounce over the green, over the putting surface, and come to rest on a mound, leaving him a very difficult down shot. This is Casper's shot yesterday, his second shot. He was trying for the green with a wood. Unhappy because he saw it drifting to the right. And it splashed into the sand. And that's where he went with his second shot yesterday. Now, here is Littler's third shot on videotape. Look how close this runs up to the cup. Now, you think that didn't make Gene a very happy young man? Well, they call him laconic and they call him a lot of things, but he was pleased with that shot because it was a super shot here, his third yesterday on the 15th, leaving him that short putt for a birdie 4. Acknowledging the applause of the crowd. Now, this is Casper coming from the bunker. A long carry from the bunker because he's all the way across from the pin. Running, running, running. And on the videotape, we saw it come up to this point. And that is his birdie putt yesterday, as we showed it on videotape. So they had 1-putt greens here at the 15th that brought both of them 4s. Now we have the live action here on the 15th. The 2 California contemporaries coming down. The gallery on either side of the fairway standing almost at attention. They are beginning to wonder, is the little man, Gene Littler, about to come back? Casper had looked so invincible on the front nine with those few putts. And yet, as pointed out earlier, bogeys have come up to haunt him here on the back nine. It will be Casper hitting his second shot. The wind, if it is a factor, is possibly a little in favor here.
John, you have watched many and many a Masters tournament. How important is impetus here? Casper had it on the front nine, and it could well be that Littler has picked up something here in the back nine in the way of momentum.
Well, I would say that this hole, Ray, right here, if for some reason we see Littler get another birdie and Casper doesn't, that there might be a bigger swing going back up. Casper's 4-wood is going very much toward that bunker where he was yesterday, and he is back in the same sand.
Nice going, Billy.
He is not quite as far up. He will have a little more difficult shot because he is a little closer to the edge of the trap itself, a little closer to the grass. And now here comes the shot that may tell whether this swing, the swing toward Gene Littler that Ray Scott spoke of, is going to take place, because Littler, with that terrific tee shot, I have never seen him hit a longer tee shot on the 15th hole. so far down that on this 520-yard hole, he's using an iron for his second. This is Littler. Well, he wants to test that wind again. It's very important. And you see that he is consulting with his caddy to see just what effect the wind will have. He does not want to go over the 15th green because we have water beyond. There's the water he must clear to get to the green. But if he is a little too strong, there's water behind this 15th green also. And there is no escape from that water. Now we have Littler at a moment of indecision. This is not a good sign because indecision in golf is frequently the forerunner of bad news. He can't decide what club to use, and this sometimes, well, I believe he's now set. Playing in his 17th Masters, he's after his green coat. Struck it straight toward the green, straight toward the center of the green, and it's going to be a fine shot. Hits on the front, bounds up, and he will be about 40 feet away with possible eagle putt here on 15. Well, whatever club he did decide, it was the right one because he made a perfect shot into the 15th. There we see one of the classic swings of the American golfing tour, Gene Littler. And there he has come onto this large putting surface here at 15 and will have an opportunity for an eagle, although he is quite away from the flagstick. There we see the shots they hit in. The one on the right is Casper, who went into the bunker. And I repeat again, he is very close to the front edge of that bunker. On the left is Littler, who is on the green. Playing in his 17th Masters, he's after his green coat. Struck it straight toward the green, straight toward the center of the green, and it's going to be a fine shot. Hits on the front, bounds up, and he will be about 40 feet away with possible eagle putt here on 15. Well, whatever club he did decide, it was the right one because he made a perfect shot into the 15th. There we see one of the classic swings of the American golfing tour, Gene Littler. And there he has come onto this large putting surface here at 15 and will have an opportunity for an eagle, although he is quite away from the flagstick. There we see the shots they hit in. The one on the right is Casper, who went into the bunker. And I repeat again, he is very close to the front edge of that bunker. On the left is Littler, who is on the green. And now let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. The gallery is watching. They have applauded Billy Casper as he has come first onto the area close around this 15th green. He had walked fairly well down to the green before Littler hit his second shot. Casper now walking over to once more see. Littler is coming just across around the far edge of the lake, the cards in front of the screen now. And the gallery, having watched the scoreboards here at the Augusta National and seen that Littler has picked up strokes on the last few holes, rooting for the underdog, and the great shot that he made in here was very much appreciated. The shot which Casper will have here now is very similar to the shot we saw just a few moments ago on videotape, with that one exception in that he is much closer to the edge of the bunker. He has less sand there, so that he will have to get the ball up a good bit faster. And a long trap shot, a long shot from that sand, is not an easy shot to control. The green is fast. So if he's too strong, he may go well beyond the pin. possibly 20 feet beyond the flag. So a birdie that he gets, if he gets a birdie here today, it will indeed be well earned. Billy Casper on the green in 3. Gene Littler has studied the line, consulted with his caddy. The differential, which had at one time been 7, has now been reduced to 4. And here on the 15th, there is the likelihood that it might be close even more. Shadows across the green. The flagstick itself is in brilliant sunshine, but there are shadows in the pine trees. Littler smoothing out his swing. He trails by 4, remember. This is for an eagle. From 50 feet away, he is going to be just a little short. Just a little short. What a magnificent, smooth stroke ball that was to go down to within a foot of the hole. And I believe that he probably will finish out his birdie. Let's see, he will. Casper watches it go down and sees his lead cut by 1 further stroke, perhaps, as Casper, having played 3, will try now to get a birdie that would match that which was just scored by Gene Littler. And if he does not get it, the lead is then cut to 3 strokes difference. Casper's sensational putting on the first round gave him a big advantage. From about 22 feet, Casper's try for the birdie. And it's a foot short. That's about it. So, let's see if he taps this in, as he does. And they walk off the 17th. And at this moment in the playoff round of the 1970 Masters Tournament, Billy Casper leads by 3 strokes.
And so Gene Littler's back 9 surge continues here at Augusta National. And in front of our players, the dangerous par 3 16th over water. And we go there now to Henry Longhurst.
And now, yes, Littler's tee shot. We'll wait to see it. About 200 yards. Stops in for a moment, so we have time to say that for the last 4 rounds of the tournament proper, Littler has had 3, 3, 3, 4 here, and Casper has had 3, 3, 2, 3. And if you can lose 4 shots in the first 4 holes in this class, you can regain 4 shots in the last 4. Yes, Littler. Sounded beautiful. Flag up on the very top left-hand corner of the green there, and he's 2 or 3 inches off the edge, but should get a par 3 there. Quite an intimidating one for Casper to follow. Casper 7 ahead after 11, only 3 ahead now. Target area of the green at about 200 yards must seem very small to Casper now. Perhaps I shouldn't have said that. There is one of the finest winning strokes we shall ever see on an occasion like this, and Casper at a range of about 200 yards puts his ball 8 feet from the flag with an obvious chance of a 2. And now we can see the way they played this hole yesterday. Now there's Littler, and that's one of the really bad shots that he played in the whole tournament. Pushed out to the right, a really dreadful one for his class, and into that bunker, and it cost him a 4. Here's Casper attacking yesterday. Straight away, no stopping to think, and bashing for the flag. All the last 4 holes. That isn't sand, that's just a rough path. There's Littler out there, just pitches on the fringe, you see, and gets caught there. And if I'd pitched another 18 inches, he might have got just far enough up. There's Casper down the slope, has a bold go at it. It ran by like that and left him this very treacherous one back. And we're very pleased to get that in. That was yesterday on the videotape. And now, this is still yesterday. And that never was going to reach the hole. And that's a 4, and perhaps you could say that that was the one that caused it to be a playoff instead of a win for Littler. And so, back we come to today on the 16th green. Flag right up on the far left-hand corner. A big crowd, of course, you expect that, but you will hardly believe me, but I'm telling the truth when I say that it's now about 5 o'clock, and some of them were here at 10 o'clock this morning. They've been sitting here waiting for this moment for 7 hours. This is 25 to 30 feet for Littler, just an inch or 2 off the green. Obviously you take a putter a bit downhill, and it's not one to which he can play an attacking putt for a 2.
About what distance is involved here in this putt, Henry, would you say?
This is 25 to 30 feet. The hole might have gone in if it'd been in the center, but it's about a yard past for Gene Littler, the 16th. Only 3 behind now, has been 7. Now we wait for what could be the killer by Casper after that wonderful tee shot. Here he is putting this one from 8 feet for a 2. This would put him 4 ahead with 2 to play. Billy Casper for a birdie 2, the 16th, to put him 4 ahead. And I should be very surprised if we haven't seen there the winning stroke in the 1970 Masters. Now this is an anticlimax for Gene Littler. He's still got to get it in to stay 4 behind. Bravely hole by Gene Littler, and he goes to the 17th, 4 behind. And now we go over to the 17th.
17 is a 400-yard par 4 playing to a bunkered elevated green. You'll see the tee is very much in the shade of the majestic pine trees here at Augusta National. In fact, the tee is carved out of a shoot of pine trees with 2 very large trees down the fairway presenting obstacles to the players and leaving a relatively small opening. One of those trees up in the upper left-hand corner. And those spreading branches on that tree in the upper left-hand corner of your screen obscures about half the fairway. The pin placement on 17 is identical to that of yesterday. It's pinched in the narrowest part of the green on the far right-hand side. Just 15 feet from the edge, some 25 feet from the front and the back fringe, as you see there on the map. Casper first off the tee. Casper starts his tee shot off to the left side, clears that tree 190 yards out very nicely, and he is in good shape down the left-hand side of the fairway. Now Gene Littler, desperately trying to catch up on the last two holes. Littler also down the left-hand side and very close to that of Billy Casper, just a little bit beyond, both men in good shape on 17. And so at this moment in the playoff of the 1970 Masters Tournament, Billy Casper leads Gene Littler by 4 strokes.
So the final dramatics unfold here at Augusta National. Checking through the record book, the greatest margin recorded in an 18-hole playoff for a Masters title occurred in 1962, the year that Arnold Palmer, Gary Player, and Dow Finsterwald finished the regulation 72 holes in a 3-way tie, and Palmer won the playoff with a 68 to Gary Player's 71, with Dow Finsterwald finishing 3rd. And today we have, as our players are on the 17th, Billy Casper there, leading Gene Littler by a margin of 4. But not only is the finish of play at the 17th in front of our players, but we are well aware that yesterday at 18, when Gary Player had an opportunity to finish in a 3-way tie, that he was bunkered with his second, and it was costly, just as it had been the day before. And Bert Yancey was bunkered as well, and so there is still treachery ahead on this challenging Augusta National course. And incidentally, when the time comes for the awarding of that coveted green Masters jacket, we will watch that presentation here on the practice green at Augusta National. And we'll get a chance to hear from the 1970 winner as well as watch the presentation. Now let's go to 17 and Frank Lieber.
The second shot coming up here at 17 for Billy Casper and Gene Littler. There you see the position of their tee shots. As you may notice, that bunker guarding the right front portion of the green has to come into play for both of these golfers here, and a second shot too short may easily catch that bunker. On the other hand, if you're long to the right, it is down an embankment and a very difficult third shot. So here's Billy Casper's second. He's birdied this hole twice, parted twice. And this is coming right on line with the flagstick. Casper with a beautiful second shot on 17. He'll have a putt of less than 15 feet for a birdie. He has played 17 like he has owned it here in the Masters in years past. As we mentioned, he birdied it the first 2 days. He went right at the flagstick with his shot yesterday, did the same today. Now Gene Littler, who birdied it on Saturday and parred it the other 3 days. Gene told us he used a 5-iron yesterday for his second. His shot coming right at the flagstick too, perhaps a little bit to the left, and to the left it is of Casper's. It's a fine shot nevertheless, but he'll have a putt of some 25 to 30 feet, similar to the putt he had yesterday on 17, if he is to pick up his birdie. On videotape now, we'll show you how these two players putted at 17. Casper's putt for bird. Or rather, Littler's putt for a birdie, pardon me, from about 20, 25 feet away. Left him that much for a par. Billy Casper had just a great second shot yesterday. Put it within about 5 feet of the cup, above the cup, and had a very tricky putt coming back, which could have won him the tournament. This is videotape from yesterday, and this is the putt that could have won it. And that's what happened to Casper. He needed this putt yesterday for his par 4. That's the way Mr. Littler and Mr. Casper played 17 yesterday. Now we're back to live action. Both acknowledging the applause a moment ago as they reached the 17th green. Between them, Gene Littler and Billy Casper have 31 years of Masters experience. 17 for Littler, 14 for Casper, each looking for his first green jacket. Littler is 39, Casper is 38. This, by the way, is the 6th playoff in 34 years here at Augusta National. Littler's best finish was 4th in 1962. He was 6th in 65, 8th last year, and he qualified for the tournament this year by virtue of being a member of the Ryder Cup team last year. Former U.S. Open champion, 1961, and won the U.S. Amateur back in 1953. He needs to make up 4 shots in the last 2 holes, almost an impossible task. This putt from between 25 and 30 feet for a birdie 3 at 17. He charged it as he has been doing the past few holes, trying to make up strokes here, and will still have a difficult little putt coming back for his par 4. As Littler marks, and Billy Casper looks over the putt, which could really put this 1970 Masters away. Billy qualified this year by virtue of being a U.S. Open champion of the past 5 years. You might recall he tied for 2nd last year. Won the U.S. Open in 1959 and 1966, that time in a playoff with Arnold Palmer. This is for birdie 3 and a 5-shot lead. Very coolly, Billy Casper sinks that 15 to 18-foot putt to increase his lead to 5 shots, providing Gene Littler makes this. And Littler bogeys 17. Now let's go to 18.
And so Gene Littler strides to the tee at 18, and in an instant you will see Billy Casper with just the formality of playing out the par 4 18th between Casper and the 1970 Masters Championship. And there is Billy. In talking with broadcast reporters and writers prior to the start of the tournament today in the locker room, Billy was asked by one of the writers, in effect, would he be cautious today? Would he lay up at a par 5, for example? And Billy smiled and said, oh, if I have a 4 or 5 shot lead, I just might. As it turned out, the par 5 15th, for example, Billy did not lay up. An outstanding exhibition of golf by Billy Casper on the threshold of his first Masters Championship. Last year, ever so close. Losing out by 1 as he finished in a tie for 2nd. A dogleg right, the finishing hole at Augusta. And perhaps you heard in the background a word from one of the spectators back at the 18th tee. The word, beautiful. Perfectly positioned drive, and now Littler. Beautiful. And Littler, too, is in good position at 18. And so all of us here around the 18th green expectantly await the arrival of the 1970 champion and runner-up as we are about to complete our special playoffs. So at this moment in the playoff round of the 1970 Masters Tournament, Billy Casper leads Gene Littler by 6 strokes. Well, I don't think I need to tell you that we have a wonderful gallery here for this playoff round today. And although our weather has been ideal through the first 72 holes, today it's been perfect. Whereas we had some overcast skies, not so today. Now, videotape of play at this 18th yesterday. Here we have Gene Littler putting for a birdie from about 20 feet. Had that putt dropped, he could have won it yesterday. But as he said later, he was perhaps more concerned with not missing the next putt rather than in trying to sink that one, because speed was so very important. And he said, I could have well run it perhaps 6 feet past the hole if I had been bold. And so this putt remained for his par 4, and he finished at 9 under. That was Gene Littler on videotape yesterday, and here is Gene Littler live today, preparing to hit his second shot to the 18th green, as he is 3 over, and Billy Casper, by virtue of a great front 9 and a big comeback here in the last couple of holes. From 165 yards, Gene Littler fires a good iron to the green at 18. And now Billy Casper. Incidentally, both of our players have been the model of consistency at 18, having picked up pars here throughout the tournament. Exactly hole high, Billy Casper lies at the 18th. Now we're again going to view by way of videotape Billy Casper's play of yesterday. This is the putt that could have won it for him yesterday. And as Billy Casper said this morning in response to questions, when asked about that putt, he said, I thought it was in all the way. And when Gene Littler was asked about watching Billy Casper's putt, as he did from the scorer's tent, he said he thought he had made it too. And then after Billy Casper came this attempt by Gary Player for a 4 that would have put him into a 3-way tie. But it was not to be, as Gary Player bogeyed 18 as his second shot was in the bunker. But now live action, and smiling Billy Casper comes to the putting surface. Just moments from now, we will all get an opportunity to watch the awarding of the Green Masters jacket to Billy Casper Jr. Incidentally, we added a year to both Billy Casper and Gene Littler yesterday, and we correct that today. Gene Littler is not 40 years of age. He said he's going to stay at 39, which he is, and Billy Casper, instead of being 39, is 38 right now. The term serene is used many times to describe Billy Casper. And I believe that he likes that definition of his personality. And again, the Masters is played before a very wonderful gallery. This is for a birdie. Billy is just a short distance away from a round of 69. Gene Littler now for a birdie. So Gene finishes his round with the ever so elusive birdie that he was seeking on the front nine when he played extremely well from tee to green, but the birdie putts would not come. Gene Littler now for a birdie. So Gene finishes his round with the ever so elusive birdie that he was seeking on the front nine when he played extremely well from tee to green, but the birdie putts would not come. So the two who grew up in the San Diego, California area meet under the most competitive of conditions in a playoff round, and the winner is Billy Casper. And would you say that there would be a happy twosome, the professional player and the caddy, as they leave the final green? And that's Billy Casper's son is there, and his wife is there, and smiling faces everywhere as Billy Casper has emerged the winner. And so, at this moment, our 1970 Masters winner is Billy Casper by a margin over Gene Littler. I think it was 6 strokes. No, it was by 5 strokes. Henry Longhurst said it very well. Henry Longhurst said it very well a few moments ago in describing the action at the 16th today when Billy Casper was lining up a birdie putt. I think he used the word that this could be the killer. And as it turned out, indeed it was. By the way, that scene right there on the practice green here at Augusta National Golf Club will be complete in a few moments, and that would be when Billy Casper, who is right now in the scorer's tent, comes into view for the presentation of the Green Masters jacket. But as we said, at the par 3 16th, the par 3 over the water, it was there that the putt that indeed turned the tide, stemming the surge by Gene Littler, came about. So let's watch it now again on videotape, the play at the par 3 16th.
Here's Littler. Sounded beautiful. Flag up on the very top left-hand corner of the green there, and he's 2 or 3 inches off the edge, but should get a par 3 there. Quite an intimidating one for Casper to follow. Casper 7 ahead after 11, only 3 ahead now. Target area of the green at about 200 yards must seem very small to Casper now. Perhaps I should have said that. There is one of the finest winning strokes we shall ever see.
And so, with the words of Henry Longhurst, one of the finest winning strokes we shall ever see.
It's not 1.
Back out now at 16.
2. This is 25 to 30 feet. Just touched the hole. Might have gone in if it'd been in the center, but it's about a yard past for Gene Littler, the 16th. Only 3 behind now, has been 7.
The weatherman.
And now to the practice green at Augusta National and the presentation ceremony. Mr.
When Bob
Clifford
Jones,
Roberts.
Was active. He always found at least 2 or 3 groups or individuals to compliment. But even Bob overlooked the weatherman. In the early days of this tournament, we established, I believe, an all-time record for bad weather. I remember one year we weren't even able to start until Saturday. Another year, both of the bridges were washed out on Ray's Creek. For the past 7 years, including this one, we have had ideal weather conditions, almost perfect scoring conditions, on all 4 days for 7 years. And while I'm not a statistician, I doubt if any tournament anywhere in the world has ever been blessed with 28 days of record weather such as we've experienced. And if they keep right on, it'll be quite all right with all of you and me too, I'm sure. We had the pleasure here this year of being supported and assisted in this tournament by more golfing associations around the world than ever before. I don't know how many of you realize how important this is to us, but I assure you, the Masters wouldn't be the Masters except for the expert and experienced assistance that is rendered to our club by these golfing officials who regularly come here each year and join hands and work with us in operating this tournament. If the Masters has any distinction or ever attains any, it will be due in large part to that big advantage that we and we alone enjoy. It's the only time each year when the top officers of the big 4 golfing organizations meet at one place and work together in the conduct of a tournament. And I had the great privilege yesterday of introducing the captain of the Royal Nation, St. Andrews, and the honorary president of the PGA of Great Britain, and the president of our own United States Golf Association, and also the president of the PGA of America. And I just hope all you people realize how much all of you who enjoy this tournament and all of us who try to help operate it owe to those fine gentlemen. Now, John Winters, our old friend John, old reliable, who has held just about every important office that there is for anyone to hold in golfing associations, and who has been a member of our Rules Committee for a good many years, and who shortly will be aiding in the operation of the PGA championship at his hometown of Tulsa, Oklahoma. John is substituting once more this year for the president of our club, Bob Jones. And John, if you will now take over, I'll be ever so much obliged to you. Mr. Winters.
Thank you, Clifford. I think it's been a wonderful tournament, and I couldn't help but be impressed on Saturday afternoon in the back nine when these new red figures going up on the scoreboard began to tighten up and everything looked like it was going to be a wonderful finish. It turned out that way again yesterday. I don't think Billy was very much interested in terminating yesterday because, according to press reports, he and Gene figured out it took them 72 holes to get the rest of the characters, and then they go to work on each other. But if Billy had been really sincere, maybe he'd have sunk a putt on 17 yesterday like he did today. But I think it's been wonderful, and it's one of these tournaments where you have a playoff like this that everybody hopes either one will win and be happy about it and be very sorry as to whichever one might lose. Both of these men are popular. But I'd like to I've got to start in a minute and get my fellow Oklahoman properly acknowledged here. Charlie and I have been friends a long time, and I've always admired him, not only for his sportsmanship, but being a truly fine amateur player. Charlie has won many honors, and he's won many prizes, and he's always been a wonderful representative of the game. A few years ago, I had the pleasure of participating in the awarding of the Bob Jones Trophy to Charlie. Now, I think that's one of the great honors in golf. And I was very happy to see Charlie win it. And I might say that on behalf of particularly the members of this club, we like to know that Charlie was the low amateur in this tournament. And Charlie, we have a few mementos here for you. You're going to get this gold and silver vase, you're going to get a gold medal, and you're going to get this cigar box. But in due course, when we get a chance to kind of polish them up and engrave them, they'll be yours. Charlie, would you care to say a few words?
Thank you, John. Cliff, if I may be presumptuous enough, I'd like to say a few things in regard to the amateur contingent in this tournament. First of all, it's a cherished honor to receive an invitation. Our play at certain times has been adequate, almost to the degree of success of winning this championship. I know that Bob Jones and Cliff Roberts, the members of the Augusta National Golf Club, would like nothing more than to have this happen. That is, an amateur to win. But I promise you that we couldn't do as well as we have done in the past if it hadn't been from the support we've received from you wonderful gallerites. John, I thank you very much. I want to congratulate Billy Casper. Gene, condolences, but you still deserve a great big hand. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charlie. When we have two fine golfers like this in a playoff, and they both can't win, as I said before, we're a little unhappy about the one that loses. Now, Gene Littler got off to a little slow start, but he didn't give up. And he was working hard on the backside, and he picked up a few shots, and I don't know whether he had Billy nervous or not, but if he didn't have, he should have had. Billy says the answer is yes. But I'd like to ask Gene a few questions and let him tell you his own story about it. Gene, would you come up here by me a moment, please? Gene, this playoff match got off to a fast start today with two fine second shots. And did it bother you any when Billy ran that birdie in on the first hole?
No, I figured we had quite a bit of the course left to play at that point. The next hole bothered me a little bit.
Well, I was going to ask you, when I saw your third shot down there, I couldn't believe it, and I can't help but believe that might shake anybody up. I know it would me, but I don't know about you experts.
Well, it looked where Billy drove the ball like I had a little advantage on that hole, especially being down by the green in two, and Billy came out. But as you say, you couldn't believe that shot, and I couldn't either. It was it was on a little dry turf, but there was no excuse for dumping it in the bunker. It was just a poor shot, and I don't know what happened.
Well, would you say that the results of that, I know it was unexpected to you, would that shake you up any for the rest of it, or could you forget it?
Oh, yes, I forgot it shortly after, and but Billy played great after that, and I think we all know what a great championship this is, and he's been one of, or the greatest player in the last 10 years, and he certainly deserves to win. I'd like to congratulate him.
Well, Gene, it's too bad that you both couldn't win. But Billy's going to climb into his green coat this year, and I think I can say for all the fans here, they'll be looking forward soon to the day when you'll put one on. We hope it won't be too long.
I'd love that. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Gene. You'll get a medal. Well, Billy, I guess we're down to you. You've been playing in this tournament, what, this your 14th or 15th? 14th Masters. Last year you came pretty close. This year you came real close, but you had to go an extra round to button it up. You're a popular champion, I know, here, and as I said, it's too bad you both couldn't win, but I know you're glad to win. Would you stand up here with me a minute? I know you felt real good about that first hole, but what happened on that tee shot on number 2?
Well, I don't think I was ready to play. I made a very fast and hurried swing and trying to hit a low hook and get it down there where I could reach the green in 2, and just made a very fast swing and got over it. I almost got on the road that we had fun with yesterday, John.
I don't think I'll ever go down that road again, Billy. I don't think of our little session up there, and I still don't know how you got there.
Well, I don't either, and when I arrived there, I didn't think I'd be here today.
Well, I thought you putted quite well the first 9, And did you feel that it was your putting, or you just felt ready to play all the way?
Well, John, I felt pretty good most of the day. There through the back nine, it seemed like I couldn't make a par for the longest time, but most of the day I felt very good, and I had a wonderful caddy this week, as I do every year here at Augusta. Matthew is over here. I'd like to have everybody see him. And after today, he's going to change his last name from Palmer to Casper. But I would sincerely like to thank him for all of his help that he has given me the past 2 years. In the past years that I've played here, the last 2 years I've used him exclusively on the greens, and it's made the difference of me making putts and missing putts. And I'm very grateful to you, Matthew.
Well, I can sympathize with you, Billy. When that Matthew caddies for me, I do a little better, and when it don't, then I have trouble, so I know what you mean. But Billy, we have a few mementos here for you. You're going to get a gold medal, and you're going to get that bas-relief replica of the clubhouse, and you're going to get this silver cigar box. Now, when we get them suitably engraved for you, well, you'll get them in due course. And if you don't get them very soon, just call Mr. Roberts up and say, where in the hell are they?
I'll do that. But I'd just like to thank Mr. Roberts and all the gentlemen here at Augusta National for staging another fine championship. It's one of the great championships in the world, if not the greatest, and I always look forward to coming here and playing. I particularly enjoy the golf course and the condition of the golf course. And I think it's very wonderful that we have men such as Mr. Roberts, Mr. Jones, and all the other fellows here that do so much for the game of golf. I know I'm very grateful to men such as these. I might relate a story that I heard the other evening just to show you what type of people these people are here that run this golf tournament. Mr. Roberts was out on the course the other evening following some of the players with Joe Dye. And Joe was interested in watching the tournament, and Mr. Roberts says, well, I think we've put the tee too far back here on 15. We've got to move it a little bit this way. And they got on another hole, and he had these ideas on something else. But this is the way it is here. They're continually improving, progressing. And this is a great example to all of us, if all of us could continue to progress and move forward. I would particularly like to congratulate Charlie for his fine play this week. I played with him the second round, and he played a beautiful round, and he's truly a great golfer and a great gentleman, and I'm just feel very fortunate to be associated with men like that. I would particularly like to thank Gene for his very poor start today. He opened the door for me and left it open, but I must say that he scared me there, the back nine, particularly the putt at 16 that went right across the lip of the hole. If it had been a little easier, it had gone in. I don't know whether I could have made mine or not. But there is one consolation, Gene. I've got the green coat in San Diego, and maybe next year you can capture it. Certainly nice to be here, and I'd like to thank all the gallery for their support, and I hope you all have enjoyed the tournament. I know I have. It's a goal that I have fulfilled, and I'm deeply grateful for your support for this wonderful week that I've had. Thank you.
Now, don't sit down, Billy. We got one more thing. I think it's come time to put the green coat on you. You've worked hard for it. So, George Archer, if you will come up here as last year's champion and put the coat on Billy Casper, please. Congratulations.
And so the ceremonies are completed. We should tell you the first gentleman you heard there at the practice green was the chairman of the Masters Tournament Committee, Mr. Clifford Roberts. You heard from Mr. John Winters of Augusta National Golf Club. And of course, the low amateur this year was Charles Coe, referred to more often as Charlie Coe. And you had a chance to see last year's champion, George Archer, the runner-up today, Gene Littler, who recorded a 38-36-74, and our champion with a round of 33-36, the highlight of which most certainly would have to be the front nine, when Billy used only 12 putts in recording that 3-under par front nine. They were equal on the back nine with even par 36s. And so Billy Casper has reached yet another plateau in an illustrious golfing career. For Gene Littler, who's up until this year, his highest finish here had been in 1962 when he came in fourth. And he said, in fact, within the last 24 hours that he felt that had been the only year in 16 previous Masters when he thought he had a chance to win. Gene Littler has already received great honors in golf. He was our amateur winner, U.S. amateur winner in 1953, and he was a member last year of our 1969 Ryder Cup team. For Frank Gifford, Bob Ferrier, Pat Summerall, John Derr, Henry Longhurst, and Frank Kleber, this is Ray Scott saying congratulations to our 1970 Masters champion, Billy Casper. So after an 18-hole playoff round, the 1970 Masters champion is Billy Casper at 3 under par.